Hello guys and girls, and welcome back to a new video today. This video is about Premier League players who have been the best players throughout the whole season and obviously through lockdown because of the coronavirus. So I'm only picking 10 players, obviously from a different club. So obviously 10 players. So yes, I'm gonna go from my number 10, then from so on to my number 1. So going to my number 10 is... my number 10 is Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish has scored 7 goals for Aston Villa, which he is also the captain for Aston Villa as well. And he also kept them up. Season just gone. Obviously, when they played West Ham, they needed to get a draw or a win, and they got what they wanted. They got a draw against West Ham with a goal from him, and I just think he's been outstanding for Aston Villa. Obviously, he scores absolute great goals, and he works well with their team. Obviously, he's been linked with the likes of Manchester United and Arsenal, which personally, if he did go to a team, I think he'd go to Manchester United. And he has scored some worldies. Obviously, he scored one against Manchester United in the 2-2 game at Old Trafford, which was a great game, but yeah, a great goal from a great player. So yes, that is my number 10, Jack Grealish. So going on to my number 9. And that is Burnley keeper Nick Pope. And he also he's also a goalkeeper, and he's had 15 clean sheets, which is fantastic for himself and for Burnley. Obviously, they have been fantastic this season. Obviously, he's basically kept them in it with games. They've been winning games. Left, right, and centre. Obviously, they played Liverpool a few weeks ago, and he was outstanding. The saves he was making, top saves, bottom saves, everything, and that was only 1-1. And obviously, Liverpool won the league, and he played his best. He played his heart out, and he's a great keeper. He's probably my favourite keeper from the Premier League this season, other than Alisson, who plays for Liverpool. And personally, I can see Nick Pope being England's number 1 for the Euros next year, or it could be Dean Henderson. Can't see it being Jordan Pickford, because he hasn't been the best last season in the Premier League. So going on to my number 8 now. So my number 8 is the captain who plays for England, and that is Harry Kane. Harry Kane has been out for the past few months, and obviously he came back in March, and he's been absolutely fantastic for the club. And he scored about 18 goals, which has been fantastic for him. Obviously being an England captain as well as, and he scored 2 worldies against Leicester a few weeks ago, and I just thought he's one great player. I think he'd be a great player if he moved to somewhere else other than Tottenham, because I think Jose Mourinho is not the man for him with Harry Kane, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I just think Harry Kane is a great player, probably one of the world best strikers in the world, one of the best. So yeah, obviously he's been out for a few months, but yeah, he's coming back to his best right now. So yeah, and he's going to be class next season, and obviously in the Euros next year. So that is my number 8, Harry Kane. So going on to my number 7. So my number 7 is Raul Jimenez, who came from Benfica for 30 million, which that was a great signing for Wolves. he has scored 17 goals for Wolves this season. Well, the last season just gone. And he has been quality, working well with the team, and obviously working well with Adama Traore, which they have been fantastic together as a team. Obviously, the build up as Traore crosses the ball in, Jimenez scores, and he's just one of the best strikers in the Premier League. Obviously, he's really good for football fantasy. So, if I was you, I'd get him in your team for next season. And obviously, it was a tough one between Adama Traore or Jimenez, but I just think Jimenez makes him a better player in my eyes. But yeah, it was a tough decision between Traore or Jimenez, so I picked Traore. No, I picked Jimenez. Messed me head. But yeah, he did score a great goal at West Ham a few weeks ago, a bullet header, which was a great goal. Obviously, there was no fans in the stadium because of the coronavirus, but yeah, so let's hope the fans get back in the stadium next year, maybe in October, November time. So yeah, that is my number 7, Raul Jimenez. So going on to my number 6, and that is a guy, and he's only 18, and that is Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood has been one of the best players for Manchester United this season. Obviously, he's only 18, and he's really talented. Obviously, he's scoring goals for fun for Manchester United. Obviously, he's scoring. I think he scored about 9 goals from Manchester United. Obviously, scoring the one against Aston Villa away, Brighton away, and who was it? Bournemouth away. No, Bournemouth at home. Sorry, because I think the Bournemouth one at home was the best one out of a lot of them from what he scored. But yeah, I can see him a baller at Manchester United in the next few seasons if he stays with us. Because obviously I've heard that a few teams that would like to have him, but I can't really see him going at the age of 18. Well, you never say never, really. But yeah, I'm really shocked that he's 18. He's an amazing player. If you ever had him in your team, I just think he'd rip some defenders up next season. I can see him scoring about at least 20 goals next season, and maybe going up against Vardy. So yeah, that'd be a good shout to see that for next season. So going on to my number 5 now. And that is, you can only really say one Arsenal player, can't you? So that is Emerick Aubameyang, probably Arsenal's best ever player as a striker, apart from the likes of Will Tord, Bergkamp and Thierry Henry. But yeah, he's a great player. Obviously, he costed Arsenal about 50 million or 55, and obviously he came from Dortmund. He's been on fire throughout the whole season with an amazing 22 goals for Arsenal Football Club, and he scored 2 major goals against Watford at the end of the last game of the season, and obviously sending Watford down and scoring 2 goals against Manchester City, and then winning 2-0 or 2-1. I can't remember the score, but yeah, if someone knows, just put a message down below. It would mean a lot. Yeah, so Aubameyang is probably the best player for Arsenal that they've had since 2018, since he came. So yes, I am going to my number 4 now. So going on to my number 4, and that's Danny Ings. Danny Ings, who plays for Southampton, I think he only came in this season. Obviously signed in 2019. Obviously he used to play for Liverpool. So yeah, He's had an amazing season for Southampton, scoring goals for fun with 22 goals. Obviously scoring against his own rivals, his former club Liverpool, and obviously he scored on the last game of the season against Sheffield United with a penalty. And personally, he could be up there next season to get the Golden Boot, but he didn't get it this season, which I was shocked. I thought he'd get it, but obviously he didn't. So yeah, so we're now going to go into the top 3. So this is a good one. Who's going to be in the top 3? So my number 3. This was a really, really, really tough one, but I've put Jamie Vardy in 3rd position. Obviously, he plays for Leicester City. He won the Golden Boot with 23 goals, which is outstanding for him, and obviously his team, by impressing everyone that he's still got what it takes. From I think he's in his 30s, 31 now, which I think that's fantastic. Obviously, for being 31 and scoring about 23 goals in one season. And his last goal was against Bournemouth when they lost 4-1, which personally you'd think Leicester would have won that game at Bournemouth, but you never know in football, do you? But yeah, Jamie Vardy is one hell of a player. Obviously, I think he's had 2 or 3 Golden Boots, but I think he's definitely had 2. I'm not sure if he's had 3 though, but yeah, just let me know if he has or hasn't. But yeah, so Jamie Vardy is my number 3. So my second one, and that is Sadio Mane, who plays for Liverpool, who scored 18 goals for Liverpool this season. Obviously, he scored on the last game of the season against Newcastle. This guy is a very talented player. Obviously, he used to play for Southampton, and he's a left winger. And he causes mayhem on the wings, goes through defenders, and then obviously through the goalkeeper and scores. Personally, if I had to say it, he'd probably be my favourite Liverpool player if I was a Liverpool fan, which I am not. So yeah, I think he's the best player from Liverpool. So, obviously they won the Premier League this year, which I don't really want to talk about, but yeah, they won the league. But yeah, he's a great player, and obviously I think if Liverpool can keep him for next season, that would be a good touch. So going to my number 1. So it's all came down to this, my number 1, and that guy is called Kevin De Bruyne, who has scored 13 goals for Manchester City, probably the best ever, probably one of the best cam players in the world right now, and he just plays sensational football by scoring goals, free kicks, penalties, everything. He's just a world-class player. Obviously, if he went to the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, he'd be so good there. And obviously, if Man City can keep him, that would be something else. It'd be amazing. Obviously, he scored a worldie against Norwich last game of the season. Like, I think it was last week or the week before. And yeah, and he hit the post and it went in as his second goal. And that was like 90th minute when he scored, and they won 5-0 against Norwich, which sent Norwich City down. Which, personally, I think Kevin De Bruyne is the best player in the world right now as a centre midfield, as it can. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you're new, and please try and get me to 300 subscribers. I'm only 15 away, which would mean a lot. So I'm going to say 15 likes for this video would mean a lot to me as well as that. So thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. So for next time, I'll see you. Goodbye. Suai Army.